it's your turn to
Oh, is it for me?
consider yourself fired.
Why are you winking at me?
Consider yourself fired.
Hello, and welcome to the JT and Drew Show. I'm JT,
And I'm Drew.
and we're two nobodies talking about nothing.
Consider yourself fired.
What's going on, bud?
Hey, bud. I've been doing a lot of thinking lately.
Oh, that's never good.
Some things you said the other day really struck me, and I'd like to bring them up on the show.
Of course, yeah. This is a safe place where nobody is listening but you and me.
That's true. We do have an audience of two. You know who you are. If you know, you know. Hashtag.
You're my favorite listener.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Oh,
Lifelong crush? Question mark?
maybe.
That's what I like to hear. But the other day when we were talking, you mentioned something about how I'm super successful and you hate your life where you're at. And it just really resonated with me that I could be doing so much better.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's not quite how the conversation went.
I don't think it was, but I know where you're going, so...
No, kind of like what we were talking about in the previous episode, that song, you know, just bringing to the forefront of your mind kind of the reflection of where am I? What am I doing? Where am I at in life? Am I where I thought I would be? Am I going where I think I would be or where I wanted to go or want to go? And just reflecting on that for a while, I realized, you know, when I was active duty, I was real hard or hell-bent on, well, I need to get my degree before I get out. That's a big goal. And I crushed that goal. Proud of
Yeah.
it.
That's good.
And I've used my degree 0 times since then. Thinking that, you know, well, when I get out, I'll have tons of job opportunities. And the job opportunities have been there, depending on the market. But it's been kind of, I don't want to say a letdown, but disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that I'll apply for, you know, 1 million jobs. I'll have the degree requirement, but it's still not enough. Or, hey, you have this, but so do the other 2,000 applicants for this one job. And it can be a little disheartening at times because you're like, golly, like, what am I doing wrong? Or am I doing anything wrong? Do I need to go back to school? Go ahead.
Let me stop you there. You know, when you're in, and I can't speak for other branches, but I know for the Air Force, it's, hey, while you're here, take advantage of the programs, you know, get your degree, because if this doesn't work out for you, you can use that and job opportunities will flood to you because you have the experience, you have the military background, and you have your degree. And that really seems to be not the case as of, I don't know, the past 5 years.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. They do a really good job, like you just said, of fluffing it up. And, hey, employers are going to be, you know, jumping at the bid to hire you because you're prior military. So you're disciplined. You have all this experience. You have leadership. You have followership. You can take orders. If you get your education, that's just icing on the cake. And I'm not saying it's not, like, I'm not trying to discourage anybody from setting those goals for themselves. I think they're great, and they very well can set you up for success in the future. In my own experience, I'm still searching for that.
Right. And I think there's a few other folks that are out there, especially that we know, that are in the same boat as you. But going back, I'm going to ask a question.
Yeah.
Is this, at this point in time in your life, is this where you thought you would be on a podcast with, like, the best person ever?
Absolutely not. I had never imagined until about, what, 2.5 years ago,
Yeah.
of starting up a podcast, whether it be just for fun or for business or anything. I've been an avid listener and enjoy many podcasts that are out there.
Yeah. Okay.
But I never thought, hey, this is something that I think I want to do, or that I should do, or really that I'm interested in.
Where do you, or where, if you to look, the younger you, let's go back, where would you expect yourself to be at this point in time in your life when you were making your plans?
Gosh, at this point in time, I would have expected myself to be, married, children, definitely in a more of an executive type job.
Okay.
Probably closer to the 6-figure mark. And doing big things. We grow up in the military, in the Air Force anyway, with that mentality of, hey, you're at this level right now, you should be operating at the next level. So that when you make that next level, you're primed, you're prepared, you've got the experience, you're ready for it. And then when you get there, you're starting to operate at the next higher level. So we're always chasing the next thing. And I feel like on the civilian side, for me, that was kind of a culture shock, because a lot of civilians, they'll plateau or they'll stay in the same spot for 10, 15 million years, and they're totally fine with that.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people who don't want to progress, and they kind of find their little niche, and that works for them, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely not. That maybe they're great at that they do, and they want to stay there and just thrive in that. And that, like you said, absolutely fine.
Yeah, but that is not what you were taught. At the military level, you are always striving to be a little better. And the old ways, as far as like when your parents and my parents had a job, and it was, hey, if you do a little more, they will see that, and maybe you'll get a promotion, because usually companies like to promote within, and then they hire the lower guys on the outside. And that, I think, is how it used to be. But seeing how my dad, when just before he was trying to retire and get on Social Security and all that, they were hiring people above him from the outside because they didn't have to pay him as much. And that was really sad to see.
Yeah.
Because, for this in particular example, my dad had over 30 years of experience in the job that he was doing, could potentially have done what they were asking him to, or what the job requirement needed him to do. He had the experience. He knew what he was doing. But you're going to hire a guy that's 20, 30 years younger than him and not pay him not pay the salary that you would somebody who has the experience.
Yeah.
Which is where I think the disconnect is in today's age. Where can we as a company save money? Oh, let's hire a manager who has no experience instead of the guy who has 30 to 40 years of experience, lower salary.
Well, and they'll boot him before retirement. That's what happened with my grandpa. He worked, retired from the military, and then he went to work for like General Dynamics and Lockheed Martin. Ended up with Gulfstream, working on little white jets, doing the avionics.
Yeah.
And he'd been doing it for decades. And then they decided, well, we can save money and hire a couple of college graduates, pay them less, and not pay him his retirement if we get rid of him soon enough. Huh. And I think that's where it was kind of disheartening for me, is I would see all these job ads for myself, and it's like, hey, we're looking for somebody with, a bachelor's degree, 4 or 5 years experience. Okay, cool. Let's see what the salary is. Oh, we're looking for, $15 to $18 an hour. What?
Yeah, that's not sustainable if you have a family and you have a house and have bills.
Right. Well, and you're thinking, at least I was thinking, okay, well, I've got a degree, I've got the experience. Why am I starting out at the bottom? Not that 15 to 18 is the bottom, but it seemed at the time kind of like a slap in the face.
Yeah. Yeah, rightly so. I mean, you worked hard to get your degree.
Yeah. But
And
the fact of the matter is, today, because we've been pushing, go to college. If you don't go to college, you're not going to get a good job for the past several decades. Everybody's got a degree, whether it's in underwater basket weaving or it's in engineering.
yeah,
Everybody's got one, so they're a dime a dozen. What separates you from the pack?
I don't have one.
Everybody but JT has one. What separates us from the pack?
Yeah, I went to college once lots of times, and we've talked about this on the show. Just college was never my thing.
Yeah.
So
There's nothing wrong with that.
yeah, but I figured it out at a younger age, probably 18, 19, that I was gonna probably work until I was 1 foot in the grave. And I would probably show up late to my own funeral.
Yeah.
Just trying to get overtime.
Let me just let you know now, when you send the RSVPs out, I'll let you know after the funeral. Oh, hey, yeah. I'm going to come to that.
Yeah, no
But
kidding.
he died like 3 weeks ago.
Well,
Oops.
he just passed him out. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I have a love-hate relationship with school, with higher education. I love to hate it. However, I found when I was going through it and applying myself, hey, I really excel in this. I do well. And it kind of motivated me to try harder, to do better. And then I have been sitting on the fence for the past 3, 4, 5 years, maybe I should look into grad school. But then the other part of me says, well, that's great, but I've done nothing with my bachelor's degree. If I go to grad school and spend all this time and hard work and money doing it, will there be a gain?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. But you don't know until you try, right?
Yeah.
That's the way you have to think about it these days. You don't know until you try. But also, where's the gain for you in the long run?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still searching for the answers. I've learned a little bit the hard way that chasing money isn't always the best.
Mm-hmm.
For me personally, money versus happiness. Money is nice. It's good. It pays the bills. But at the same time, what price are you paying mentally and physically? And I've been in those situations, where I've worked for some pretty interesting people.
Mm-hmm.
But then what do I always say? Well, I need the paycheck.
Yep.
So I put up with it.
Yeah, I think 90% of America has to do that as well. Because there's the 10% that are like, oh, well, I don't have to deal with this.
Well, and it used to be, like you were saying earlier in the show, when our parents were growing up and working, you would go to a company, you would stay there, you would be loyal because they were taking care of you.
Oh, yeah.
And you would stay there for 20, 30, 40 years.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that there's not companies out there right now that don't do that. I'm sure there is.
Right.
But the vast majority of them are not like that anymore.
Well, no. Now the mindset, from what I've seen in several instances anyway, is, well, you're replaceable. You don't like it, put up or shut up. If you want to leave, there's the door. Somebody will be right behind you to take your seat.
Yeah. Yeah, you get that a lot on the outside world, too, in the civilian world.
Yep.
I can have 7 other people take your jobs. I need you to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if 7 other people want the job, they can have it. That's kind of my mindset.
Yeah. You really have to weigh those factors. What's what's more important here? Like you said,
Yeah.
long run. What you want to be happier and, make money, but maybe not do as well as you could be, but be miserable.
Yeah. It's a hard balance.
It is. It's definitely not an easy task to find that. But when you do, I would say hold on to it. However, at the same time, in my mind, it's okay. I'm here. I'm doing this. I fixed all these things. We're doing well. What's next?
Mm-hmm.
It's tough. It's a tough balance to find.
It is. It's a very tough balance to find, and it's draining. Not straining, draining
I have nipples, Greg. Could you milk me?
on your soul, your livelihood, your relationships you're in, whether that's with your significant other or your friends, if you can afford friends. It's draining on all of that, and we're only one person, and one person can only take so much until they crack.
Yep.
And drugs bad, kids. Stay in school. School is cool.
School is for fools. Yes, stay in school. Definitely.
Yeah. If I don't think there are any young kids in here, but if you could tell your younger self anything, it would be, hey, just get the high school diploma. Don't go for a GED. So go ahead and go back in time and work on that.
Is that because I'm Mexican?
No. High school diploma, not essays.
Yeah, I did plenty of essays. Oh my gosh. I wrote plenty of essays. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Did
Gotta
they reply
remember.
to you?
Gotta remember who I'm talking to. No, they never replied. They usually just were like pass or fail.
Oh, gotcha.
Whatever.
Yeah. Never wrote one until I went to college.
Really?
I don't know how I did. Yeah, I don't know how to do it. So I had it was a history class, and he was like, yeah, for this test, we'll need you to write an essay. And I was like, what's an essay?
Oh, look, Mom and Dad, we have a Write a Prisoner program.
No, it
Get
was.
a pen pal.
Nope, it was. So I don't believe I told my parents I was in college until years later.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so I graduated high school and went straight into college for 2 semesters, man. That was it. That was all I could do. But I had 2 full-time jobs and going to college full-time. So
Yeah.
it was, that part of my life where I was like, do I put food on the table or do I get an education? And I was hungry. So I quit college and got a 3rd job.
Yeah.
And then I said, well, the hoot with this. This is a terrible, terrible way to live. And that's when I realized I'm going to be working until I'm in the grave.
Yeah. Well, I think regardless of the situation, I mean, I could be a gajillionaire. I'd still be working till I'm in the grave. There's no way I could just, I'm just going to sit at home and do nothing.
Yeah, that's the same mindset that I've got. But I've also got the mindset of what could I do to earn a little more,
Yeah.
And that didn't really come into focus until I guess you and I met back up in 18? No, it was 19. You were
19.
here for a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but from that time frame, well, just before we met back up, and then later on, I was thinking, how can I make more money? How can I set myself up to afford birthdays or afford a vacation or afford anything,
Right.
And that was, hey, let me do a side hustle. And then I think that's when you and I met back up, and then we did the lawn care thing.
Yeah. Yep.
So, well, that's memory lane for me.
Yeah, we have a similar story. I went to college for 2 semesters right out of high school, and but I only had the one full-time job. And then that's when the recruiter had called me. I had tried talking to the Air Force previously, and they were like, yeah, no, we don't want you. We only want like mechanical and electrical people, and that's not you.
Okay.
So we don't really need you right now.
Huh.
So I was like, okay, I'll just go to college, change my career path from what I thought I would be doing since I was 3, joining the military.
Yeah.
And recruiter called. I'm in my 2nd semester, and they're like, oh, yeah, we can get you in, set you up with this job. It won't be leaving for a little while. And I was like, okay, cool. I'll just finish up this semester of college, continue to work, and then get my ship date, and that'll be that.
Yeah.
And that was, that was almost 16 years ago.
How time flies.
Yeah, you're old.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
You're 20 minutes older than I am, according to that lady at Lowe's.
We are twins.
No. Was that at the exchange? I don't remember.
We've 20
done so
minutes
many.
older was the exchange.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That
And that
was
was-
Tales from the Crypt lady.
Yes. Tales from the Crypt Lady. And every time your email notification went off. she'd be
Oh,
like, do y'all hear that? Hear
did you
what?
hear that? Hear
I don't
what?
hear anything. I think I'm going crazy. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the whole time my phone's going, ew!
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I'm losing my mind. Yeah, I'm not hearing anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't hear a thing.
Yeah. Oh, I love the pranks. It's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you feeling better?
Yeah. Feel like I got, half a pound off my chest.
Well, okay. Well, every ounce counts, as they say in, I have no idea, Kyrgyzstan, maybe? Maybe they say that there. So we'll claim it.
As they say here in the U.S., as the kids say, it be like that sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know what you're saying. That's like Greek to me.
Respect the drip.
Yep. Nope. Last time there was anything dripping, I had to go to the doctor.
No cap?
No, I've got a cap right here. Look at this.
Ah, for real, for real. Oh, you do have a cap.
I told
Nice.
All right, man. Well, glad you got your half a pound off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do mine on the turlet, and I will talk to you later.
Sounds like a plan. I'll see you there.
All right. Just don't hand the wipes over this time. Just the roll.
Well, last time it was Lysol. That's what caused the burning. Wasn't the
Okay.
purple.
Well,
Something else.
don't do that again. That hurts.
Yeah.
All right. Purple Nurples. Talk to you later.
Bye.
As always, we'd like to say thank you for stopping by and listening to the podcast.
Yeah, we realized that you could have been doing anything way more productive, but you chose to waste your time with us.
We look forward to talking about absolutely nothing with you next time.
If you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, please email us at
jtandrewshow@gmail.com or visit our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/jtdrewshow.